Is it safe in here? What if they don't like me? But I'm not as good as they are. Others are so much better than me, though. What if I fail? Oh, I'll just probably mess it up. No, I'm too afraid to take risks. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen Brown, and I'm a self-worth recovery and relationship healing author, mentor, and speaker. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about overcoming self-doubt. First, I want you to understand that you are not alone. I promise you, you are not alone. There are so many people out in the world that suffer from this. In fact, I would even venture to say that probably the majority of the population has suffered from this at one time or another. It is the one thing that keeps us stuck and stopped in life because we plain and simply don't think we're good enough. We doubt who we are. We doubt our abilities. We doubt everything about ourselves. And so we play small and we stay constricted and we avoid situations. We stay at home. We don't call people. We don't reach out. We don't take risks. All of those things that are actually going to blow our life up and make our life the most brilliant and amazing life that we have ever imagined. So when thinking about recording this video, I actually laid on the ground right there and put my little blanket up over me. I closed my eyes and I just relaxed into it. And I thought, what do I want to talk about in this video? And I thought what might be most serving to you all is for you to hear little snippets of my personal story, because I have overcome all these self-doubts, imposter syndromes, all of these things as well. In fact, I didn't even ever know what imposter syndrome was. And then when people started to explain it to me, I was like, I think I have a little bit of that. As many of you might have heard before, because I talk about it a lot, especially on my lives, I had a big journey ahead of me when I started to want to teach in the world. I was really on fire to share everything that I had learned, the wisdom, knowledge, tools, techniques, all kinds of things with the world, but yet I was scared to death. So I started out blogging. That was just the first thing that came up for me 10, 12 years ago. And I would write these blogs out and then I would just hover over the post button. I would be so afraid. And little did I know that when you hit post and you're new to blogging and your website doesn't have any SEO, that there might be one person that sees it. But I was scared to death even for that one person to see it, because I doubted myself. I doubted that people wanted to hear what I had to say. I doubted that I had anything to really share in the world. But I hit that post anyway, and I sent those blogs. And then soon enough, I was being invited to guest blog on other people's websites. So as I was laying there in my meditation, I was asking myself, well, how did I overcome this? How did I push through? What exactly changed inside of me? And as I was laying there, I was remembering when I first got on a social audio app that I'm a top mentor on called Wisdom. It's a fairly new app. When I first got on the Wisdom app, I was scared to death to go live, because that's all the app was at that time. It was just you push this go live button and then you're talking and you just, kind of freewheeling it. I would just sit hovering over that button. And many times I had to tap, tapping EFT. I had to tap through the fears. And most of my wisdom talks are done while I'm walking in the morning. So there I am standing on the sidewalk, tapping through my fears because my anxiety was so high. I was just so afraid I was going to mess things up, or I was going to look stupid or like an idiot, or just not make sense. I think that was my biggest fear, is that I wasn't going to make sense and people weren't going to understand me and they're just going to think I was ridiculous. But I pushed through those things and I started getting 100 people a week following me. Like, it was really, really crazy. Later on, I decided to try my hand at YouTube, because while I was spending a lot of time on the Wisdom app, my YouTube channel was blowing up. I don't know how, because I had just posted randomly throughout the years. I really knew nothing about YouTube. How did I do these things? Tip number one is that I wrote down all of my limiting beliefs. I wrote down all of my fears. And when I tell you, I took a legal pad and I laid on my bed and I wrote and wrote and wrote about all my fears. And I will tell you something, that mother effer was long. I couldn't believe how many fears I had had swirling around inside of my brain. And when I wrote them down, I was able to compartmentalize and really look at them and say, wow, I had a lot of junk going up in my brain. I had a lot of fear and doubt that was swirling around. No wonder I was feeling so uncomfortable and struggling through this whole thing and thinking that what I had to say didn't matter. So I wrote those things down and then I revisited them and I started to apply the rest of the things that I'm going to share with you today. And I went back to that list after I started applying these things, probably like, I don't know, 6, 8 months later. And I realized that almost every single item on that list was no longer true. The thing about self-doubt and imposter syndrome is we can have people come in and support us. We can have people telling us how great we are. We can have people saying, oh, you have no idea. You're so talented. You're so wonderful. You're so beautiful. You're so amazing. You're well-spoken. whatever it might be, because it's not always about our business that we feel this way. It could be about dating and relationships. It could be starting a new career. It could be all kinds of things. But we can have these outside people coming to us and telling us how wonderful we are. But the key here to understand is that it doesn't stick, because this is about refilling your own worthiness cup. And unfortunately, others outside's compliments will come in through the top of our worthiness cup and they'll fly out the bottom. The only thing that sticks in our worthiness cup is when we give these things to ourselves. So if you're looking for other people out in the world to save you and to fill in, putty up all those cracks and crevices in your vessel, they are not the cure, and it can't happen that way. This is going to require that you sit down with yourself and you do the work necessary to rebuild your self-worth so that your self-doubt can completely diminish and that you can show up in the world a bigger, brighter, authentic version of who you are. The next thing I did is that I stopped comparing myself to other people. Now, when we're growing and we're doing things and we're looking out on social media, it's super hard not to compare ourselves, because our brains will automatically do that. We'll start to go, this person has that, I don't have this, or I have this and they don't have that. But here's the problem. Anytime we compare ourselves, we are going to come up short, because we are not that other person. And guess what? We're not supposed to be that other person. We're supposed to be exactly who we are. So when I would, let's say, get on YouTube and I was looking at other influencers that do similar work to mine, I was like, oh, they have better lighting, or all this or all that. Blah, blah, blah. And I started to really compare myself to them. And I could feel myself shrinking and not wanting to get on camera and to record for you all. So I thought, okay, well, this is causing me to feel that way. Then I'm not doing that anymore. As long as I'm comparing myself to other people, I'm always going to feel like there's something wrong with me and I am inadequate. And the third thing I did was that I pushed through. I found the courage inside of me. And what I did was I went within and I said, okay, what really gives me some oomph? What really gives me some fire? What really makes me feel like I can do that? And for me, it was fuck it. I had to say fuck it. In fact, I have, oh, here it is. I got this right here. Fuck this shit. Just be you. These are the notes that I put up all the time around my house, because anytime that I was afraid, I knew that if I just like slap myself in the face with a fuck it, that I was going to like build this courage out of nowhere, because it was like, who cares? What does it matter? What's going to happen? Which leads me to the next tip. Tip number 4 is, what's the worst thing that can happen? So then I would ask myself, okay, what is something that I couldn't come back from? What is something that if it happened, that it would be absolutely devastating or make me feel really terrible? And it was something like, losing a limb or dying. Can that happen? Can I lose a limb or can I die if I record a video? No. Okay. Can I lose a limb or die if I get on Wisdom and give live talk? No. Can I lose a limb or die if I make a reel? No. And every time the answer was no, if the worst possible thing could not happen to me, then I didn't care. I posted anyway. So there's that whole thing about feel the fear and do it anyway. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to push through. You're going to have to find that little nugget of courage inside of you and just push through. Any place that you have self-doubt in your life, take these words, because these are universal. These are going to help you in any aspect of your life. And the 5th thing is to stop toe dipping. Did you see in the beginning of this video when I put my toe in and I kind of touched the microphone? That was my little creative interpretation of toe dipping. And you just kind of dip your foot in the pool. You want to do it, but you're just not really sure. So you're just trying to test the waters. Well, here's the thing. Anytime someone tests the waters to see if they're going to be a good fit to this thing, oftentimes they're going to get back to them what they thought was going to happen. And here's why. Because you already have a preconceived notion that it's not going to go well. So then when you dip your foot in, it doesn't go well, you go, see, I knew it. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen, which will also keep you stuck. So the 6th thing is that you go at these things from your full heart, from your full authenticity, from a fuck it attitude. I'm just going to shine my bright light out into the world. I'm going to give it all I got, and I'm going to keep giving it all I got. Because I will tell you one thing, every single person I know who have stuck to their path, no matter how many tomatoes were thrown at them, no matter how many times they felt afraid, no matter how many times whatever they did didn't go as well as they thought it would, when they kept on their authentic path and they kept fine-tuning themselves and adjusting and trying new things, guess what happened? They skyrocketed eventually. So no matter if you're looking for a new career, you're trying to be an influencer, you're trying to attract your ideal partner, whatever it might be for you, don't stop. Keep going. The journey to reclaiming our personal power is a very personal journey, for number one, but it is also something that takes time. It's like peeling away the layers of an onion. You got to keep peeling away and doing the work. Eventually, you're going to find yourself at this goal, and you're not even going to realize how much work you did until you look back and you see that path behind you. You're going to be like, wow, I freaking did it. If you're interested in further information about reclaiming your personal power, Kristen Brown wrote the book on it. It's called The Recovering People Pleaser, a spiritual guide to reclaim your true worth and attract the love you deserve. But it's not just the love you deserve, it's the abundance that you deserve. This book will help you reset your energetic foundation of self-worth so that you can attract everything in your life that you have always desired. If you've enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give me a fat thumbs up. Don't forget to share with someone you love and give me a comment below. I absolutely love your comments because I'm a social person. I love that interaction. Until next time, everybody, remember, you matter. Now go love yourself and heal that self-doubt.